Hey everybody, what's going on? Brendan Miller here, back with another video. A new year is upon us, and I thought there'd be no better way to kick off this new year than with a new series on this channel. I'm calling it Bass Fishing on a Budget. Basically what I'm going to do is put together a couple of videos that highlight budget-friendly gear. For those of you out there that are trying to save money, you don't want to spend a lot of money on fishing gear. Fishing gear can actually run you some pretty decent money, especially when you get into like rods and reels and high-end lures. It can get pretty expensive. So I wanted to put together some videos that give some budget-friendly options. I myself have been using budget gear for years, and as a matter of fact, I still use a lot of budget gear. To kick off this series, I wanted to go over some budget-friendly fishing lures that you can pick up at Walmart. Now I know Amazon's a great place and eBay's a great place to find budget fishing gear, but the problem with Amazon and eBay is you can't really see what you're buying, and sometimes in my experience you get stuff that's not that great. It may be very cheap, but the quality may tend to suffer. So I decided to put together a list of budget-friendly lures you can pick up at your local Walmart. You can walk in there, you can pick these out, and these are definitely going to be very effective lures. They're all going to catch fish for you, but yet they're not going to break the bank. The first bait I've chosen right here is a cotton cordell lipless crankbait. This one's in red craw, and these baits, depending on where you pick them up, can run you anywhere from $2 to $3, which is a great deal. A lipless crankbait is a great bait if you want to cover water. It's very versatile. This is a no-brainer if you're filling your tackle box. It's always good to have some of these on hand. Like I said, when bass are aggressive and they're chasing bait fish, these baits can get it done. If you want to spend a little bit more money, like $1 and some change more, you can pick up one of these. This is also by Cotton Cordell. This is a slightly different model. This is a Super Spot right here. I personally like this bait a lot more than its cheaper cousin. Like I said, it's $1 and some change more. The paint job looks a little better on it, and the overall construction and shape looks like it's going to have a little bit better action in the water. But nonetheless, these are both very, very solid options if you are looking to fill your tackle box with lipless crankbaits. This next bait will run you about $3.43, and that is another bait by Cotton Cordell. This is just a standard stick minnow right here. Let me pop it out. This is their original floating minnow. I gotta say, guys, I've been a fan of this bait for a long time. I remember purchasing these way back in the day because they were kind of an alternative to the original Rapala minnow, which retails like $6, $7, but these are like $3 and some change, and I was very excited to have a jerkbait type bait in the box. Like I said, guys, these baits have great action in the water. They definitely will catch you fish, and they're budget friendly. So if you're looking for some sort of a jerkbait, floating jerkbait, floating minnow type bait, this is a no-brainer. Moving on to topwater baits, we have a popper right here. This is by Ozark Trail, and this bait will run you $1.96 at Walmart. This is by far the cheapest topwater bait you can buy at Walmart. But the reason why I picked this up, not only is it very, very cheap, but there was some things that I actually liked about it. Number one, it has a feathered trailer right here, which is pretty nice. And overall, I found that these cheaper style poppers get the job done. They pop, they make noise, and they catch fish. They're not the greatest things in the world, but like I said, if you're on a budget, you can't really beat $1.96. This bait will definitely get the job done for you. It may not be the best popper in the world, but like I said, one of the main things that I like about it is that it does come with a feathered trailer, and it actually has eagle claw hooks on them, and these hooks are pretty sharp. Also, the paint job looks pretty good on this thing. The one criticism I have about this bait is that the mouth is not very cupped, so you're not going to get as loud and as big of a popping action, but nevertheless, this bait will catch you fish, and it's a great option, again, if you're on a budget. If you want to spend a little bit more money, I recommend picking up the Rebel Pop R. This is a classic bait. It's been around for a long time and it's caught a ton of fish. This bait will retail you $4.80, so it is by far one of the more expensive baits on this table. But let me just say this bait is dynamite. As you can see, it's got a nice feathered trailer right there, and unlike the other bait, it's got a nice deep cupped mouth, so it's gonna pop really loud, gonna move a lot of water. I would highly recommend this. If you're on a really tight budget, go with the Ozark Trail right here, and if you want to customize, you can even take a Dremel and hollow out the mouth a little bit more. That's what I've done with these in the past. But if you want to spend a little bit more money, I'd recommend definitely grabbing the Pop R. Really solid lure, can't really go wrong. Like I said, a classic. This thing will catch you fish. It's fantastic. You could also pick up a original Head-In Sierra Spook right here. This thing will run you around $3.43, which makes it a very, very affordable lure. I think the reason why this is so cheap is because this model is a little bit small. They do make some really, really big models, but nevertheless, this will definitely catch you fish. The Sierra Spook, again, is another classic bait. It's caught tons of fish in the past. I really like throwing Sierra Spooks. I remember picking some of these up when I was a young kid and just being so excited to get these baits to walk across the water. Very, very cool. Also, the paint job on this thing is very, very cool. Really awesome paint job. Great hooks, great action, classic lure. Again, $3 and some change. Pretty good price. definitely pick one of these up if you're filling your tackle box and you need a topwater lure. Another bait in the topwater selection that I have had some personal history with and I absolutely love is the Rebel Frog R. This is kind of a frog-shaped walking bait. I remember when this first came out, I was so excited. I went and I bought it, and I actually did a review on this bait way back in the day when it came out. You can go check that out. I'll link it up in the cards. But this bait is fantastic. It only runs you around $3.90, so you're pushing the $4 mark, but not quite. Still very, very affordable. I just dropped it on the floor. If I'm not mistaken, this bait is actually dropped in price because I remember when I picked it up, I think it was around like $5. But this bait is just so cool. I love this thing so much. This bait has a very realistic frog profile in the water. So if you're fishing open water, there's a lot of frogs, maybe you're fishing along some lily pads or a weed edge, this bait is really, really good. I've had really good success with this bait just fishing farm ponds. Bass absolutely love it. Very, very awesome. Yeah, like I said, very realistic frog finish. I absolutely love the paint job, love the finish on this bait, and it's got a very unique walking action in the water. You kind of stroke it, and it's got this beautiful darting action. Definitely something worth considering if you are looking for topwater baits on a budget. The Rebel Frog R is awesome and one of my personal favorites. Moving on with topwater baits, let's talk about buzz baits for a second. I personally love throwing buzz baits, one of my favorite baits to throw. I have caught some really nice fish on them. And this bait right here that you can pick up from Walmart is like about as budget friendly as it gets. This bait will run you $1. That's it. $1 will buy you this bait. Now, I've heard some people say that these are fairly cheap buzz baits, and that is true. However, they catch fish. Let me tell you, my personal best bass was caught on one of these $1 Walmart buzz baits. I estimate that fish to be around 6 pounds. I caught it way back in the day fishing a farm pond. I was very, very excited, and this bait got it done. Like I said, guys, can't really go wrong. It's $1. Come on, I've caught a lot of fish on this bait. There is some modifications you can do to it to make it work a little bit better. There are videos that tell you how to do that. But yeah, for $1, yeah, definitely pick this bait up. It gets the job done. Moving on with topwater baits, let's talk about topwater frogs. I love fishing a topwater frog, watching the bass blow up on it. They're weedless. You can fish them in all kinds of scenarios. I personally have had a lot of success with topwater frogs, fishing them way back in really thick backwoods, ponds, and swamps where you can't really get a lure through the moss. And my personal pick for best budget frog would be the Pad Crusher Junior by Booyah. This bait will run you around $4.96, so it is a little bit more expensive than the other lures we're looking at. However, the performance on this thing and value for money, in my opinion, is ridiculous. A lot of frogs are gonna run you around the $7 mark, especially if you're buying like Strike King frogs. I can speak from experience and say that this frog right here is my favorite topwater frog of all time. The fact that it's just under $5 for the junior model is awesome. It's definitely a budget-friendly option. If you guys want to spend a little more money and get a slightly bigger frog, you can spring for the full-sized Pad Crusher right here. This will run you, I think, like $5.96, so it's going to be a little bit more expensive. But if you're trying to save money, pick up the Junior. It's a little bit smaller, as you can see, than the original, but it's definitely worth the money. And this bait, it may look small, but it packs a punch, got a great action, and it'll catch you tons of fish. Moving on over to spinnerbaits, we have this bait right here, another $1 Walmart special right here. And I gotta say, guys, this bait again gets the job done. It catches fish. This bait is very simple in its design. You have a basic willow leaf right here and a small Colorado. But overall, guys, I'd say this bait is fantastic. Value for money, again, is really, really good. I have vivid memories back when I was little of my brother Rodney out fishing me with this lure a lot, and it made me really mad. But again, guys, $1, you can't really go wrong. The bait works well, tracks pretty good. It's got flash, it's got vibration. Okay, let's talk about jigs for a second. Jigs are fantastic. I love throwing jigs, especially swim jigs. I'm a big swim jig fan. And there are some budget options when it comes to jigs at Walmart. Starting off with these baits right here, this is the Bitsy Bug Mini Jig by Strike King. I have been using these baits for years. Again, I have vivid memories when I was stocking my tackle box back when I was young. I picked up a ton of these things and I actually caught some fish with them. They're great little jigs. Now, the reason why these are so cheap is, number one, because they are fairly small. As you can see right there, this bait is a little bit small. However, don't underestimate its size. These baits are great for flipping docks. You can put a crawl on the back, fish it down on the bottom, or you can even put a grub on the back or a little swim bait and fish them like a swim jig. Very, very versatile baits, and again, they work very, very well, and they cost $1 and like some change, which is ridiculous for this. Very, very great bait. Still love these things. Highly recommend it. They also come in some really nice colors. We have kind of like a bleeding shad right here. Definitely would be using this as a swim jig. Awesome bait. Now, a new addition to this list is this bait right here, the Lucky Strike Football Head Jig. I originally saw this at Walmart when I was picking out these baits for this list, and it caught my attention. Why? Because the price. This thing costs $1.96. I gotta say, look at the colors on this thing. The colors look really, really nice. The hook feels decently sharp. The actual football head looks very, very good. The only thing that I notice about this bait is that the skirt does feel slightly cheap, but it's definitely better than the skirts on these spinner baits right here. I gotta say, guys, I'm very impressed. For the money that you spend, this jig feels very, very decent. Obviously, it's not going to be as premium as a $5 or $6 jig. The skirt does feel a tad on the cheap side, but overall it feels very, very sturdy, very solid. And again, $1.96 for a full-sized football head jig. This bait's going to be great. You can drag it over rocks, you can fish it down on the bottom, it's going to look like a crayfish, and the big bass are going to go nuts. They're going to eat it. You're going to catch fish with this. Fantastic lure right here. The Lucky Strike football head jig, again, $1.96. All right, last but not least, let's talk about plastics. Now, Walmart is somewhat famous for having these huge bargain bins just full of discounted plastics, and the Walmart that I was at was no exception. I was able to pick up some fantastic lures by Yum right here, and these were all very, very cheap. I also spilled coffee on them, so there's kind of dripping coffee, but that's okay. It adds to the scent. These baits are gonna run you around $1.96 a pack, which in my opinion is a steal, and you're getting it from a decent brand, Yum. I have been a fan of Yum baits for years. I still really love their stuff, and the fact that you can pick up a pack of Yum lures for $1.96, whoa, I'm coughing, sorry. Like I was saying, the fact that you can pick up a pack of Yum baits for $1.96 is fantastic. Just some of the baits that I picked up these little worms right here, kind of a little finesse worm, pretty cool. I also picked up some lizards, standard lizard, classic lizard, always a good thing to have on hand in the tackle box right here. Let me pop it open. Right here, classic Yum lizards, caught a ton of fish, great bait. Watermelon red flake, one of my favorite colors. I also picked up one of these baits right here. Again, I love this bait by Yum. Very, very cool bait. This little craw right here, got a great little craw, got some flapping arms. I actually really love the profile of this bait. Very, very cool, and I love the color. And I also picked up some Senkos right here. Yum Dingers, my favorite Senko of all time, or Senko style bait, I should say. Yeah, Yum Dingers for $1.96 a pack. Pretty stinking good right there. Got some Yum Dingers, fantastic. So, guys, there you go. Those are some options if you are looking to purchase some budget-friendly fishing lures. If you guys don't feel like going to Walmart, but you still want to check out some of the baits featured in this video, I will leave links to all the baits that I can find on Amazon for you, so if you just want to pick up one or two, you can do so. But yeah, guys, there you go. Those are my picks for the top budget-friendly lures that you can pick up at Walmart if you are looking to get some cheap bass fishing lures that are still going to catch you fish. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. I can't wait to make more in this series of videos. I'm going to talk about rods and reels, going to talk about line, that kind of thing. It's going to... I thought that was an earthquake. It's just somebody upstairs. Like I was saying, I'm looking forward to making more of these videos. I'm going to make a video about rods and reels, going to make a video about line. It's going to be a lot of fun. Anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed this video. Now there's a vacuum running. We're going to keep on going. If you enjoyed this video, let me know down in the comments below. If you want to support the channel, check out the links in the video description. There's links there to my Signature Series swim baits, as well as Amazon affiliate links to the gear that I use on a regular basis. There's also links to merch down there if you want to pick up some merch. Thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, stay hooked. I'll see you later.